As an ancient myth goes, in a vast expanse of the East Sea grew a magic tree, which was home to 10 3-foot birds. Golden, they were the creatures of the sun. The birds took turns to emerge at dawn and rest by twilight, and that was how days and nights came into being. The prototype of that magic tree, with its golden denizens, is the mulberry tree. Our ancestors were particularly attached to mulberry not only because its leafy exuberance foretold prosperity for years and years to come, or for that matter, because its shiny red fruit left them with so many sweet memories, but also because the silkworm feeds on mulberry leaves and is then able to spin silk. The deciduous mulberry lives a long life and can grow very tall in the wild. Over millennia of evolution and cultivation, mulberry has developed into over 100 varieties with leaves, flowers, and fruit of differing shapes. The best-known silkworms are those that eat mulberry leaves, but there are others that are also useful to human beings. They include Chinese tussa, Antheria yamamai, fishline silkworm, camphor silkworm, Cynthia silkworm, etc. When our ancestors cast their eyes on the life of a silkworm, they beheld the unending cycle of the larva, the pupa, the moth, and the eggs, a cycle derived from the nature. But in ancient times, nature represented a mysterious force yet to be comprehended by man. The Xi'an village of Xia County, Shanxi Province, more than 6,000 years ago, for reasons unknown, our ancestors left in the village half of a cocoon which had been processed by a knife made of stone. At the latest, by then, human beings had been part of the history of the silkworm. And by then, the silkworm was also part of the Chinese civilization. And by becoming so, it began to change our lives. And the change, powered by the wisdom and the hard work of the Chinese people, was able to stand the test of time and distance. It would be impossible to neglect even the finest silk thread produced such. Its graceful body consists in 2 even finer threads, which are surprisingly in the shape of 2 prisms. From there, our ancestors created textile, a world of truly magnificent imagination. You can find a trace of a silkworm everywhere, from an emperor's stately robe to a commoner's engagement purse, from a delicious dish to a medicine able to cure. The silkworm has crept into every corner of our lives. Moreover, Chinese words used to express the most beautiful feelings of man have come to be associated, however subtly, to the silkworm and the fiber it produces. Then there are the goddesses of the silkworm, the most popular of them being Lady Horsehead and Madame Leizu. Lady Horsehead had a humble origin. She turned into a silkworm in the shape of a horsehead, together with a white horse that had brought her father home. Madame Leizu, on the other hand, was married to one of the earliest emperors of China. In other words, she is the greatest great-grandmother we can ever trace back to. It was she who taught people how to feed silkworms and how to use the silk to weave. Rich traditions have emerged to celebrate these two half-human and half-silkwormly goddesses. In the hometown of the silkworm, people begin to celebrate the silkworm goddess in the 12th lunar month of the year. It is rumored that at that time, the goddess herself will visit the Hanshan Hill in Huzhou, Zhejiang province in the guise of a village girl. The hill in April is a different picture. Silkworm farmers from all neighboring villages are gathered here to pray for a bumper harvest. They pray to the silkworm goddess for fine weather. They pray that a year of hard work will pay off. In China, the silkworm is not a mere insect that belongs to Bombycidae lepidopterus. As early as in the Zhou dynasty, people prostrated themselves before the silkworm. They even hoped that one day they could also ascend to heaven like the worshipped, having broken away from their cocoons. Today, the simplified Chinese character for silkworm consists of two characters, meaning heaven and worm respectively, a gesture of respect for the small insect.
China first became known to the outside world through silk. On a summer's day 2,000 years ago, the beauty of Caesar's silk robe startled Rome. Chinese silk went forth, enchanting all those who saw it with its splendor. From Chang'an to Rome, 15,000 kilometers. Because of silk, the first large-scale global trade exchange started, and then a trade route, the Silk Road, appeared, linking east and west. Rome and Persia even went to war over the scramble for the silk trade. People from different civilizations have probed the origins of this natural, golden product. Silk originated in the fields of China. 5,500 years ago, silk emerged in the Yellow River Valley. 3,000 years ago, Chinese silk had colorful patterns. 2,000 years ago, with the development of the pedal-driven weaving machine, silk with bouquets of flowers and layers of brocade stunned the world. 1,500 years ago, Chinese silk was marvelous, and world civilization was extended through silk. 1,000 years ago, by both sea and land routes, silk found a ready market across the world, and the techniques involved in producing it spread all the way to Italy. Modern science and technology have given silk a new interpretation. Silk is like the human body's second skin. It's an expression of deep love to the human race from Mother Nature. It's the Chinese pursuit of harmony between mankind and nature. In China, men tilling the land and women weaving cloth are not merely ways of life. It's more than that. It's a philosophy and an art. Silk production techniques have been passed on from generation to generation with love and sincerity. The culture of silk is deeply rooted in the Chinese people. The boundless Chinese land is called a beautiful country of silk. Today, mulberry planting and silkworm rearing still continue and expand. Quality silk is produced in natural pure mountains and plains. China ranks first in silk production. People take a passionate interest in new silk products. different civilizations are touched by the same tenderness. Chinese silk has become the world's silk and is no longer Caesar's luxury. It's the essence of human civilization